You want me to do the intro?
No.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of From the Rough, America's favorite golf podcast here on FanStream Sports, presented by OrionGolf.com. I am your host, the only host, and the best host of From the Rough, J. John E. Gerber, PGA professional. Over 20 years PGA professional. How was that? Was that good?
I think I might record that and just play that for every intro. What is up, golf fans? Welcome into another edition of the From the Rough. God, I almost said something else. I do 17 shows, and I was sitting here thinking of a different show, and I almost announced something else. But this is, of course,
I'm the one that comes in hot, and you're the one that just has to tame me in. Now I got to tame you in, dude.
Yeah. Look, I say this so many times every day on different shows. I never even know what show I'm freaking doing.
I'm surprised it's in the JP Peterson show right now. Shit,
I never do that intro. But yeah, it's golf talk with Gerb and Tim. That's what we should call it, really, for real. I am IndyCarTim, your host. That, of course, over there, PGA of America member, 20-plus year PGA of America member, Johnny Gerber, fresh off the golf course today, by the way. You're all tan and glowing. You got your hoodie on. It must have been cold up there today, huh?
Well, all three is very incorrect. Tan is not true. This is sunburn. Glowing is the polar opposite of that. I am beat down like a beat down dog. And it wasn't cold here today. It was hot, but it is very refreshing in my humble abode here in Overland Park, Kansas. Not a lot of good golf today. Company was fantastic. Played a really nice golf course today. My last 18-hole individual golf tournament for the year.
Oh, wow.
So there's a little bit more, but with so many great, exciting things going on with FanStream Sports, college football starting, new shows, new sponsors. Sometimes the big dog's got to stay on the porch and handle his business. And the business right now is not playing golf. But I still certainly enjoy the competition. And what I do these days isn't competitive, and it's frustrating. But I did have a great day playing with one of the best PGA playing professionals and golf professionals, in my opinion, in the country. Just happens to be in the Midwest section. Had a great day. Didn't come out my favor today. Didn't play great, but certainly wasn't an embarrassment. But wish I would have played better in my last event. Stroke play event for the year. I have a team event next week with our main man, Chris Bustle, and then one more match play event. I'm still in the senior match play. I know I don't look 50, but it is a senior match play event. So,
would you have to lie about your age to get into that? Because you're only like in your early 30s at this point, right?
That's what everybody says. I have to show my fake ID when it comes to that, right? But when they see me,
is that why you always want to borrow my ID? Because to make you older?
We look the same. We look exactly the same. But I can get away with it. I don't get away with it for about 13, 14 holes. And then when everyone sees me not being able to walk very good the last 3 or 4 holes for other reasons, they believe it. They said that's all the older you are is 54 years old. You look a hell of a lot older. For the first 12 holes, 13 holes, I look about 35. The last one, I look about 65. So it balances out to be 54 if math is correct.
54. That sort of like that live golf over there, huh? That's all they care about is 54.
Yeah.
Is that what you're associating yourself with now, is live golf?
They're 54, all right. If there's a bankruptcy number called bankruptcy 54, that's what they're finna to be. But no more live golf talk. Hopefully that's it. They say they're going to go through some changes, and they're going through changes. And
Bryson seems awfully sure about their future, though, from what I heard today. But yeah, we're not getting into that today because. Do you really want to believe anything Bryson said? Anything that's wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking because they owe him so much damn money. I mean, look, we do, as we are live here on a Recap Monday, Johnny, I do have to break some news here because we have a lot of Cowboys fans on this national broadcast. And just moments ago, it was announced that Cowboys star defensive tackle Quinnen Williams has agreed to a 3-year, $105.9 million contract extension.
Extremely smart for the Cowboys.
That will take him through 2030, $35.3 million. He is now one of the highest paid defensive tackles in NFL history. He is behind Jalen Carter at $38 million and just ahead of Jeffrey Simmons of those Feagles, or of the Titans at 30. He's right at $35.2 million. So, look, and this is something, if you guys, by the way, head over to fanstreamsports.com here in just a little bit when we're done with the show, because I will have all of the coverage of that. The Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz live tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock across all of our FanStream Sports channels. That will be the subject of that in the morning, and I will cover all of that and bring you all of the news, what it means for their conversations with George Pickens, what it means for the rest of the guys that got to get paid. We'll cover all of that for you there. Look, if we do nothing here on this show, we break news dealing with just about everybody. So I could not let that. If I wasn't doing the show right now, I'd already be doing probably an emergency podcast on it. So that's how important this move is.
If you look at it going kind of backwards, and last year when they signed him, you had to think that they signed him with the intention of re-signing him, right? I mean, that's the only way you kind of go about those things to solidify.
Give draft capital for him, yeah. You weren't going to let him go.
That's what you do, and Jerry loved him some Quinnen. He loved him some, and he should.
So
he should, and you and I talked about this, at the beginning of last year, and we talked about it probably three or four games into the season about Micah Parsons in the future. And, when he got traded, first off, it didn't surprise me. And I said, that's probably the best thing the Cowboys have done in a long time. And look what they got for him.
Yep.
Right. And then now you're looking how much better they were. And then he gets hurt. Not saying that's his fault they get hurt. Is he a player? Yes. But listen, what you needed for the Dallas Cowboys with Quinnen Williams certainly was every bit as good as what you needed from Micah Parsons. And then you got a couple more picks. You got a couple more players. So that was the intent, certainly. And sometimes it just takes a little bit longer to do it. They didn't want to do it in season. And I'm glad that they did it before the season. And good on the Cowboys.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in the morning, how un-Cowboys-like this is. They never take this approach with contract extensions. It just never happens. They wait too long, and then the price goes way higher than it should have. They did it with Dak. They did it with Zeke back in the day. They did it with CD a couple of years ago. It's just not how they do business. So kudos to Jerry, Steven, and the boys over there getting that thing done. Like I said, we'll talk about that tomorrow on the Cowboys Daily Blitz live at 7 a.m., all across our FanStream Sports channels and at fanstreamsports.com, and then later the same day, wherever you get your podcasts. It's always on demand at fanstreamsports.com. Johnny, Michael Brennan gets it done here as we recap the 2026 Wyndham Championship and now take a look at the FedExCup Playoffs. But Michael Brennan took advantage of the final tournament on the regular season to get the second win of his career and nab a spot in the FedExCup Playoffs. Is this a surprise for you? I mean, I know he's been on the card here recently.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the story of the year, right? A little week too late. We had him on our card last year, and he decides to shoot 3 over par in the last round to ask us to take the couch and hike the leg up, right? And that's just not something that we want to do. And it was a really hard, he was in our pod to in our top 8, how we build our cards. We usually narrow it down to about 12 players, and then we narrow it down and move into the 8 with our 3 picks, our long shot, 2 10s, top 20s. He was certainly in that 12, and I just couldn't get over his last round in terms of last week and just really killing us when we had him as an outright winner. So listen, if you want to build a golf swing, this is what it looks like. And as a coach, there's angles and parts in his golf swing that you would watch him. It's like, how does this guy ever miss a golf ball? And it's just winning on the PGA Tour, going to the last round is extremely difficult. I thought he kind of would disturb him a little bit with all the kind of stops and starts going into, certainly round 3 and round 4. So yeah, good for him. I mean, he's one of those up and coming stars on the PGA Tour. And somebody asked me a couple weeks ago before this win, he's like, give me 2 or 3 guys that you really think are up and coming stars. And he was one of them, just because his golf swing is as good as I've ever seen in terms of something like that. It's almost like an Adam Scott-esque that can, stand the test of time and, extraordinary length when it comes to something like that. And the way the PGA Tour is built, these kids hit it so far. So yeah, no surprise, certainly. And it wouldn't surprise me if he continues to play well through the FedEx Cup playoffs. And, I don't think that we talk about Jackson Koepka. Is he going to get picked for the President's Cup? And is that a good move for Brent Snedeker? Is it too much dissimilar of thinking about Michael Brennan for the President's Cup? I mean, I think they kind of fit that category, and I think it's a little time will tell going into these next three events. I will be home next week in Dallas, and we'll be doing the preview. But next week I will be in St. Louis for the BMW Championship. So hopefully, maybe the top 50 there that gets in after this week. They're cutting the 20 top 50. So if he's there, certainly going to have a couple conversations and maybe talk to him about his expectations of is it on his radar for the President's Cup. Even though Brant Snedeker, is not playing in the FedExCup, he will be in the play. It wouldn't surprise me if he's there in Memphis. Wouldn't surprise me if he's there in St. Louis and Atlanta, watching these guys to see and talk about the picks on that team and see how they handle things. So looking forward to that. Hopefully I can get an interview. He's kind of a big man on campus right now as per se, but certainly a guy
in demand, I'm sure.
Yeah. So looking forward to it, man. And it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot this week. It's going to be hot next week. It's going to be hot in Atlanta. So we're not going to talk about the card yet because I'm still licking my wounds.
Yeah, well, we'll get into those. We're going to get into all those here coming up towards the end of the show. But I thought Brennan's performance was I kind of want to use the word unexpected. I don't know if it was unexpected for everybody. I certainly didn't see this coming from him. He's finished at 22 under. Tied the course record, good enough for a 3-stroke victory over Beau Hossler. I thought midway through the round on Sunday, I kind of thought Beau was going to take it. I wasn't necessarily pulling for him, but I certainly thought he had momentum from the week. As Brennan turns into 5 under 30 to kind of separate himself from everybody early on Sunday, enters the final round tied with Hossler, who was up there on the leaderboard really since Thursday. The entire week. So, you needed at least a 3-way tie for second at the onset of the week to qualify for the playoffs. Brennan did. And then he's like, you know what? Screw that. I'm just going to win and take the whole thing. And that put him at number 47 in the season-long race here. He was the only guy to make his way inside the top 70 that was outside of it to start the week. So now, he's on track even now to qualify for the BMW in round 2 of if you want to call it that, of the playoffs. And of course, he earns his place into all the PGA Tour signature events next season. He also gets to play in his second straight Masters. One of 14 players to make the cut in all 4 major championships this season. So he's trending in the right direction. But I just honestly, I don't know that much about his game. I remember us talking about him on Wednesday, but I don't remember if he was one of these guys that you thought the course would cater to very well.
Yeah, I mean, he went to Wake Forest, right? So he's used to kind of that Carolina, kind of the grass. I mean, this is a 100-year-old golf course. That's Bermuda from toes to fingertips, right? So it's all there. Kind of used to that playing at Wake Forest, even though he's from Virginia. It's not really that type of grass. But yeah, certainly, he's kind of worked his way up very fast in the professional ranks. He played the PGA Tour Americas, won in Canada, and won in, played Korn Ferry. So he's kind of built him, he's kind of played at every single level. He wasn't that guy that just went straight out there as a potential, PGA Tour, like a Ben James, right? It never really happened. He kind of worked his way up a little bit than most, but certainly when we talk about golf swing and talk about playing, if you want to build it, that's how you build it. I'll build a golf swing. The guy's 6'2", 210 pounds, and he's wiry, and he's like I said, his angles and his positions that he has in the golf swing, not to dive too much into coaching Monday, right? But you can't get better, and you wonder where he goes wrong. And, everybody's got a little flaw in their golf swing that they revert back to as a flaw. So I call it golf DNA. Is when you work back to kind of your things that you grow up with and a flaw that you always try to fix and build better in your golf swing. But yeah, listen, this guy's not a flash in the pan. He's not. Yeah. He's a guy that that's going to be around for a long time. Certainly with his length, if there's anything that potentially can get him, just like these guys that hit far great iron players, that bulky putter, can hinder him a little bit, but that's a little bit of fool's gold also, because he's such a good ball striker that, he misses a lot of putts, but he has so many opportunities. It looks like he misses so many putts and potentially he doesn't. So you look at a guy like that. He's not going anywhere. So he's a guy that can, I don't know if he can, he has the mental fortitude to have a stretch of 2 years like a Scotty Scheffler, but certainly is a guy that potentially can win, once or twice every year on the PGA Tour.
Well, it's the second, we talked about trending in the right direction. It's the second win in just 29 starts. And it's kind of one I thought that had been building just a bit. He was in contention, of course, at the 3M Open. He was featured in the final group in last week's Rocket. And certainly he learned from those experiences, and kind of took that time under pressure to learn a little bit. The guys that were in front of him on Sunday were making little mini charges. Tom Kim certainly was making a little charge on Sunday. And Brennan sort of just bided his time a little bit before he hitched a ride to that birdie bus in the middle of his front nine. From one behind Hossler after 3 holes, he went to 3 in front by the time the final pairing had made their turn. He made 5 straight birdies on 4 through 8. Almost had that hole in one on the par 3 7th, 7-iron from 210. I would have hit probably my driver.
Yeah, for sure.
Still wouldn't have made the green.
Nope, still driver full 8-iron for you from 210.
And I would have killed a lot of wildlife on the ground on the way. Probably a lot of worms and bugs.
Yeah, worm burners. They call them worm burners.
All the worm burners, yeah. But on that back nine, he cruised, man. He had a little bit of adversity with his driver. I thought a little bit. He had a couple of wayward drives. He missed the fairways on 15 and 17 to the left. He had a case of the lefts. But he was able to kind of contain that, save pars when things could have gotten away from him. And excuse me, and Hossler, I thought, made the tournament, at least the TV part of it, a little more interesting, birdieing 16 and 17. And, at what was at one time a 4-stroke lead for Michael Brennan, went down to 2 as they got to the 72nd hole. Brennan, though, middle of the fairway, and cruised into a final birdie there to take the win. And it certainly looks like this is a place he's going to be. We always talk about these guys who you get that first one under your belt, then it seems like they just start coming. And maybe the wins for him, again, it's the second win in 29 what months? I say 29 months. 29 months. So he's not necessarily stacking up the wins, but he's been in contention a lot. And for a lot of guys, that's just about the confidence, right? Like once you start getting one of these under your belt, now he's got 2, it starts to sort of snowball from there.
Yeah, there's no substitute for being in that position a lot, right? You're going to learn what it is. And if you've never been in that position, it's a rarity that these guys are in that position one time and they kind of, they continue to get that win. It's a learning experience, especially from the young guys. It doesn't really matter how, prestigious that you are in the college ranks, being in that level in those situations, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about the pressure. And, you rarely see a person that's been in that situation one time that finishes the job. And, it's a learning experience. Sometimes the curve is a little bit shorter for some than others. And sometimes it's longer, right? Look how long it took Cam Young to win. And then it just catapulted him to, being a Players Championship. Now his next step is trying to be a major champion.
Right.
So you just don't know. But if you look at the guys, the Cam Youngs and the Michael Brennans, what are they doing at Wake Forest now? They used to be such a powerhouse of golf, kind of lagged for a little while, but now it looks like they're bringing out some extraordinary talent again. I think this week is going to be a tough task for him. I think it's going to be a tough task for the guys who played a lot in the fall, because it's going to be overwhelmingly hot the next 3 weeks. So I think rest is the key. I don't want to dive into Memphis until Wednesday, but yeah, is it a little too much? These guys, what's going to hurt him is this is a golf course that on the PGA Tour has had more balls in the water than any PGA Tour event. Your angles and lines you have to learn at TPC here in Memphis, and they're not going to get a lot of practice rounds. They might play 9 in line. So my expectations for him this week, even though it's a 70-man field, he's going to finish in the top 70. That's the only thing I know from him. That's it. That's it. That's all I know.
And that's all he needs to do for right now. That's all that really matters.
There's only 70 players, so that's it.
Let's take our first break of the show here, Johnny. We'll come back on the other side. We will grade the players as we are wont to do here on our Recap Mondays. Before we get to that, I need to remind everybody that if you are looking for smart professional golf management solutions that take your course to the next level, head over to oriongolf.com. Johnny's been over at oriongolf.com. He loves oriongolf.com. He loves Orion Golf because they're your partner in streamlined operations, improved player experiences, and next-generation golf course management, scheduling, membership services, event coordination, strategic business solutions. Orion Golf helps facilities run smoother and more profitably every single day. It's oriongolf.com where smart golf management meets real results. Head over to oriongolf.com today and discover why better golf starts with better management. Johnny, it's Orion Golf. We're back after this.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream. FanStreamSports.com.
Hey folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com.
Today's show is brought to you by Tomstown, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka. Named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tomstown, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly. Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim, that guy right over there, PGA of America member Johnny G. Gerber. Johnny G. H. Gerber. Johnny H.
G. Gerber.
What's the H mean? Hellacious?
I don't remember. Harvey.
Horrible?
I think stands for Harvey.
It's E.
John E. Gerber. Not John E. Gerber, but John E. Gerber.
Exceptional.
John Extemporaneous Gerber.
That's not even a word. Quit making up shit.
Extemporaneous. Look, I don't make up shit, but you know who does? Our buddies over at Tomstown Distilling Company. Need you to raise a glass and step back in time with me, Johnny, to Tomstown Distilling Company, as I did that night. We were there, partaking of their
no, sir, slow down. You did not. You were not capable of raising a glass.
I raised lots of things. I raised lots of questions.
You raised hell. You didn't raise a glass. You raised hell.
They were so ready for me to leave.
No glass being raised. You raised hell.
They were ready for me to leave. The next
day. They were ready for you to leave when you walked in the door. They knew it. There was dust coming off of your feet when you went there.
Tomstown is the premier craft distillery in downtown Kansas City, where history meets handcrafted spirits, inspired by the roaring 20s and the rebellious spirit of boss Tom Pendergast. Tomstown creates award-winning bourbon, gin, vodka, rye, and canned cocktails that you won't forget, Johnny. And they are available, if you're not in KC to enjoy it in person, they are available in at least 40 states across this great United Nations states of ours. So check out toms-town.com. Find out if you were in the delivery area, or if you're in Kansas City, head over to Tomstown Distilling Company in the heart of Kansas City, where spirits are bold, cocktails are unforgettable, and the history is alive in every sip. Cheers to Tomstown.
You know, cocktails are good. Cocktails are good.
Man, cocktails are. I still need the drop of you saying that.
Cocktails are good.
Johnny, let's grade the players, shall we, as we do here on our Recap Monday shows.
Every Monday. A lot of Fs.
Yeah. We're going to start, though, with a guy I gave an A+ to, and that, of course, is your winner, Michael Brennan. Anything bad about his week?
No. Yes. Yes, sir. Not his week, our week. We just didn't pick him. That's what's bad.
That's not his fault.
We picked him last week. We didn't have him this. And you know how many times that's happened this year? Like 6. Yeah. We had him the week before. They don't win. We don't put him on the card. And then they want to trout dunk us. But yeah, hey, listen, what that's not his fault for the most part. I'm going to blame him, but hey. No, A+. You can't have a winner and not have A+, right?
No, I mean, you could have a guy back into it. I might give him A-.
Hey, give him an A.
But it's going to be an A for sure.
Yeah.
Johnny in second place. This dude, more than 250 starts on the PGA Tour, and he is still looking for win number 1. And I thought on Sunday there for a while he might get it. Beau Hossler at 19 under. He faced a win and in situation as he held the 54-hole lead. It was the 5th 54-hole lead of his career. And once again, he comes up empty-handed. Great iron performance, I thought, on Thursday as he shot that 61, but he relied too much on his putter to bail him out of sticky situations. And, he got off to a nice start on Sunday, but I just don't think his game was tight enough. His long game was kind of everywhere, and he could not keep pace with Michael Brennan. I gave Beau Hossler an A-.
No, I don't know. A- is the right. I think he's B. I think it was good. He's just... Listen, he's got too many woogie boogies right now, man. He's over the ball too much. He's thinking too much. I think he kind of took the hazard of, the delays hurt him a little bit, right? It just made him think a little bit, being in a situation that you have to win to get in the FedExCup playoffs. And, is it a good year, even though you're not in the FedExCup playoffs? Yeah, for some guys like that, they'll look at it as a good year. Are you disappointed? Yeah, but for a guy like Beau Hossler, it's a pretty good year. You got I'm not saying he's ever been really in jeopardy of kind of, losing his job or getting downgraded to Corn Ferry. But, he hasn't had maybe the success that he in his mind thinks he was a prodigious player. Obviously, leading the U.S. Open after round 1 as a 17-year-old kid going to University of Texas, kind of the kid that helped John Fields rebuild that program. And getting some of these guys on the golf team with Scotty Scheffler. So as a number 1 man when Scotty Scheffler was on that team. So
Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, what do you do? I mean, I think it's a B. I think it's good. I think he's got some mental things to work on in this offseason. I think he will address if you watch him. I mean, it's hard to watch sometimes when he can't pull that trigger back, and it's the telecast was very hard on him when it came to. So I think not necessarily on his golf game and golf swing. He kind of owns it. It's a little bit different, not to get too much into it, but I think he's going to work on some of that address position and maybe pull the trigger back a little bit faster so he doesn't have to think so much. I'll give him a B. I'm not giving him an A. I'll give him B+. I'll even give him a little plus.
There is one thing that we know is not true of Beau Hossler.
He's a better guy coming from behind. Don't mark that.
He's not a better guy coming from behind because he was trying to do that on Sunday and he couldn't do it. Johnny at 11 under T19. I really thought it looked like a Sunday surge was in the cards for his first top 10 finish of the season for one Jordan Spieth. But a horribly ill-timed double bogey on the back nine made him settle for a top 20 instead. You know, still for him, it's a good finish. His first top 20 since May. And he played as well at Sedgefield as he has, I think, all year, despite kind of a wild performance off the tee. He had a little bit of magic around the greens. He, made pars from off of the map. And in the process, maybe got a little bit of confidence heading into the playoffs that I still cannot believe he is already in. I can't believe Jordan Spieth is in the playoffs. But he's going to need a big, big week in Memphis to extend his year.
Is Johnny, he in the playoffs?
Yeah. Regardless of all of that, I gave him an F because he's Jordan Spieth and he probably should be playing tennis.
Well, there's two things that are trash. Your comment and he's got to clean up his foul balls, dude. He's just hitting too many.
Yeah.
He's hitting too many foul balls and they're just unplayable. And, he has that one hole or two holes around that's just impeding him from really contending. Now, 11 under par on that golf course, is it better for Jordan Spieth? Top 20 finish, is that great? Yes. Is that going to give him some, confidence? I don't know. I don't think Jordan Spieth lacks confidence. Is it momentum?
Oh, I do.
I don't know.
Man,
is it? No, he doesn't.
He's got zero confidence right now.
No,
I don't think he has all year.
He's got confidence. His just golf swing is not holding up. And I said this at the beginning of the year. I think it's his best I've seen him swing in probably 3 or 4 years. But that doesn't tell me that it's great at this point, right? So I think when you hit that many big foul balls, and bro, these are misses what you do. Like I'm talking like 60, 70-yard misses. And for a tour player, you just can't. It's just it's too big of a miss.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just can't miss it that way. So the only thing worse than a big miss is a two-way miss for tour players or anybody that's a decent player, because then you're wondering and things like that. So, man, it's not an F for Jordan Spieth. It's not an A. It's not a B either. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna give him. Hey, man, I'm talking here. I'm going to give him an incomplete. How about that?
No, we don't do incompletes.
I'm going to do whatever I want to.
Letter grade.
Whatever I want to. The only C-.
All right. We'll take that. By the way, Jordan Spieth at number 54 in the FedEx Cup.
That is so surprising, right? I mean,
obviously outside of the BMW, but here's something that'll even give you a bigger stroke. You know who is 2 spots ahead of Jordan Spieth? Guy that I can't believe it. If you'd bet me $1 million, I would have taken that bet that he's not in the playoffs. My boy, Max Homa, at number 52. So that tells you the kind of year. He is 52.
He's so weird.
I love Maxie.
I know
he's the man.
He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of the show. I'll see him next week in BMW. Hopefully, he's just got to play halfway decent. He doesn't even have to play great. He's just got to finish top 30 and he gets in.
Mm-hmm. The BMW.
Yeah, in the BMW.
Johnny at T29 at 8 under. He had a streak of 16 straight rounds under par come to an end on Sunday as Jackson Koepka still wrapped up an incredible regular season, I think, entering the week as the bubble boy for the FedEx Cup playoffs. He's He left North Carolina with his name on the tee sheet at the St. Jude Championship.
And it's not Jake Gyllenhaal. It's not the Bubble Boy, the movie. He's the Bubble Boy.
Never. You have to be the only person on the planet, number one, that saw that movie.
No.
Or number two, knew that was Jake Gyllenhaal that was in that movie. I didn't know that.
I got drunk with him too many times, man, to
Jake
know it's
Gyllenhaal
not Jake.
Or the real life Bubble Boy?
No, Jake Gyllenhaal. He's.
Why would you go get drunk with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Because that's a story off the air. That was the 2005 Ohio State Texas weekend extravaganza in Austin.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to be there in a few weeks when we're there.
Well, you're better than him. Don't go talk to. You don't need to bring yourself down to the level of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, there's a whole story behind that whole. There's a great story behind the Jake Gyllenhaal. I can't say it on it. It's for another time. But
it's for when you're here and we're drunk. I'm sure we'll over Mambo Taxis. I'll hear the Jake Gyllenhaal story.
Hey, it's me. I'm drunk again.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Jake, how drunk are you?
It came to the past of one of me and Waterbed's boys that we were in the bus going to the after party, and it was a misered up drunking, and one of Brett, I can't remember his name. He's about 6'4", 230, yoked up, goes over to him, says, "I can't quit you, boy." From
Brokeback Gay Cowboy Mountain, we know, yeah. And that's probably what I would have done.
Jake looked over at Waterbed and was like, and he promptly got off the bus.
Yeah.
How about that? It's a really good story. The context was really terrible right now because not really the time or place to tell that story, but it was a really cool story. A little awkward moment, but it was a cool story. It got cleaned up about 2:00 at night when we were all misered up, so it was fine.
John Hill, and we're going to talk about this here in a little bit. Brooks is not in the top 70. No, Brooks did not make the playoffs, John Hill. You're absolutely correct, nor should he have, because he played like crap all season, and he'll be the first one to admit that. I don't have any audio to play for you, but, yeah, he wasn't real happy with himself. He called himself pathetic, and I don't know that I disagree.
No, look for him to play a bunch in the fall. Which is going to be great for the PGA Tour, right? I mean, I think he's after the FedExCup playoffs, some of the fall events that are really good. Look for him to play a bunch. I think he'll play over 50% of probably the events in the fall, which is, probably good for the PGA Tour.
Johnny, for Jackson Koepka, I just gave him a C. He mentioned on the broadcast that he didn't have his best stuff on Sunday, but I think he hung around pretty well under some pretty difficult circumstances.
Yeah, it's fair. Maybe a little bit. I think I'm going to give him a B, and here's why. It's just, in your mind. I mean, don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. What are you doing? Not in the middle of a sentence.
I'll do it down
Here's why I tell you why. And don't buzz me, damn it. Because in the back of your mind, you know what you have to do to get in the 70, right? So if he was 80 and didn't have anything, but he's right there knowing what he has to do and played pretty solid down the stretch. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a better grade than a C, knowing in the back of your mind what you have to do and then actually doing it.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, fair. Absolutely. Johnny at
Don't buzz me.
How about this? Give you one of those. Johnny at T61, finishing 4 under. His first defense effort was one in which he took 1 step forward and then 1 step back the entire week. Cameron Young. Look, I could go on and on about his week. It was bad. I wasn't going to go F. I gave him a D.
You're too nice.
He ranked 81st out of 81 players who made the cut in strokes gained putting. So where did he fail? That short stick wasn't being very nice to him, was it?
No.
What's your thoughts on what did you give him an F?
You know how that is. That short stick doesn't do you very well.
My short stick actually does me very well. I've had no complaints, and I have 6 kids that I know of, so my short stick operates properly.
That doesn't mean it's very good.
I like other guys.
You just get them misered up.
That's whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
I know.
I got no complaints. What did you give Cam Young? You're going F, aren't you?
Certainly an F.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Because I'm about to divvy out an F here, Johnny, as we get into He's 67 at 3 under. He was in a solid position heading into the weekend. He had rounds of 74 and 70, though, over the weekend, keeping him out of the playoffs for the entire year. Brooks Koepka, my Srixon Eskimo brother.
When you tell yourself you play like trash, you get an F.
Yeah, he'll give himself an F.
And I when we previewed the show last Wednesday, I thought he would play extremely well. We didn't have him on our card, but he was certainly in our top 12 and just got bumped out. I thought he'd play extremely well. I thought he needed to play extremely well to be considered for the President's Cup, and he didn't. And that's a fail.
And as horribly as he played, he couldn't even do us the courtesy of missing the cut, because I had him on my wheel picks to miss the cut, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I was pissed. I'm like, dude, if you're going to do that, just miss the cut. What are you doing here? And I thought those two final rounds of 74-70 pretty much sum up his entire 26 season.
If you're going to fail me, at least make me some money.
At least do it early so I can get out of here.
At least make me some money.
He looked like he had zero confidence on the greens. He wasn't reading the greens very well. It didn't matter how well he hit the ball. He just could not keep up with everybody. His I don't know if we should grade his return to the PGA Tour or not, but he just had one top 10 on the whole year. He was inconsistent. His putting sucked. He had an injury that kept him out up in Canada, and supposedly an injury that kept him out of Canada. And it just kind of derailed any momentum he had heading into that thing. It's a big fat F for him. It can't be anything else.
Here's what I know. If you know anything about Koepka, this is going to motivate the shit out of him. And you watch out. You watch out. Koepka will be back. There's no doubt in my mind. It won't surprise me if he wins in the fall. It won't surprise me if he wins multiple times in next year. He'll be back. And I think, I'm not saying he's going to say he would self-admittingly say this year was kind of a wash, getting back comfortable again on the PGA Tour, all the trials and tribulations from Liv coming back, but he'll maybe give him a pass. And I'm not saying you have to, but if you want somebody that's going to have a bounce back year or whatever it's called, and Brooks Koepka is going to be 2027. You watch out for Koepka.
Yeah, for sure. And then as we kind of had on our show card here, as I bring it back up, you also had a couple of other notables missing the cut. Keegan Bradley and Tony Finau both find themselves sitting at home here for the fall. What were your thoughts on either one of those guys? I kind of thought at least Bradley would be in, but he played like crap.
I don't care about Keegan Bradley. He's irrelevant to me. I don't care. I don't need him being all corny and quirky.
But lots of people like him, and they would like to know what you thought of him.
And they're weird too. They're weird too.
I
they like him.
Bradley.
Yeah, that's why you're weird. That's why
what about
you're
Tony,
weird.
8'4" Tony Finau with 47 kids?
Aren't you used to him disappointing you? So get used to it. It's just what Tony Finau does. I love him to death. But his talent is wasted. Like he's so super talented, and I don't know. I mean, is my expectation?
You know why he sucks.
Well, he doesn't.
Family and kids. If he would dump his family and all of his kids and never see any of them again and focus on golf, he'd be a much better golfer.
Well, he's probably not going to do that.
Well, then he's not ever going to be good at golf. Just look at Jordan. What does he want to be, Jordan Spieth?
He probably want to be Jordan Spieth with major championships. He probably would.
John Hill chimes back in here. Jackson Suber finished number 79, home course of JP's club in Tampa. Yeah, we know Jackson really well, John. We talk about him quite a bit, and we follow him. And
good year, great year.
He had a really good year, man.
Yeah, great year. He had a stretch of probably six weeks.
You had him on your card a couple times, didn't you?
A lot, and high expectations. I think it's a learning year for him. I think he'll come back next year and learn. It's your second year on the PGA Tour. You're still learning some of these golf courses, and I think he played too much golf. And he really got worn out. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. That could he be tired and exhausted? I mean, there is such a thing. I mean, even though he is a young guy, that it'll take a toll on you. And is he is he the culprit of just maybe playing a little bit too much golf and taking advantage of the opportunities that was given? You kind of have to do that as your second year on the PGA Tour with, not getting in the signature events and, having a really good stretch that you will, and getting in a couple of those signature events at the end of the year. So, yeah, I think it's a learning year and learning experience for him, and it wouldn't surprise me if he continues his great play next year.
Let's take our final break of the show. Come back on the other side. We're going to talk about our picks. We'll go over the Wheel of Misfortune picks, and, of course, Johnny will explain what went right, what went wrong this week in North Carolina. As some near misses, Johnny, as you often do. But you also have some hits. Yeah. You had one, right? You had one this week. Hey, but we'll talk about your matchups. Matchups were good. Yeah. We'll talk about that. We are From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. Back after this.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the J.P. Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com.
Today's show is brought to you by Tomstown, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka. Named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tomstown, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly. Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports, brought to you as always by our buddies over at Orion Golf at oriongolf.com. And of course, greatest small town Kansas City distillery around, toms-town.com. Go check them out. Available for delivery in more than 40 states, I think, now at this point. Toms-town. Don't spell the word dash, just do a hyphen. toms-town.com. All right, Johnny, let's get into what went right, what went wrong with our picks here, and I'll go first as I often do because everybody really cares about yours. But my wheel of misfortune picks, so I come up with 7 names. I put them on our wheel of misfortune. Johnny will tell me before I spin what that name that it lands on that spin will represent, either a win, top 10, top 20, or a missed cut. And here's who we had on the card, Johnny. I had Tom Kim to win. At 28-1, he finished T5. My top 10 was Matt McCarty at plus 1,000. Finished T29, wasn't close. Did have a hit with Hideki Matsuyama in the top 20. He finished T7 at plus 105. And then the one I really thought was going to hit for sure, I thought there was no chance this one was going to miss, and it was Brooks Koepka at even money to miss the cut. And, of course, as I mentioned here just a bit ago, he finished T67. So, still got a hit on our wheel of misfortune thanks to Johnny's fine timing with who he picks and where they go. That's really what that was all about. Any thoughts on the wheel of misfortune picks this week?
You got another hit.
Trash.
I mean, it's only trash. Well, it was kind of trash.
Yeah, it was pretty trash. I really thought that damn Brooks Koepka thing was going to hit. I was going to be so proud of that too because I was kind of looking forward to seeing him just miss the cut.
That was kind of trash. But you know what? We don't control the wheel. The wheel controls us. It's just what it does.
That's why we don't bet on the wheel. It's just for fun.
Yeah,
but Johnny, we do bet on you occasionally. So why don't you tell us as we get into your card? Tell us where the hits were and where the misses were.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, is a nice little, a little profitable week for sure. We kind of got in there, our matchup records, right? Matchup records, 39, 18, and 8. We were 3-0, 3-0, boys, 3-0 on our matchups, and that's certainly where we got our bread and butter, 3-0. But we did make some profit this week, which is great. We told you we're starting to heat up. We're heating up. I don't know if you ever watch the Nintendo game, the basketball game, but we are heating up.
No.
So, okay, well, of course you don't. Were you born in a barn? What barn were you born in?
What Nintendo basketball game are you talking about?
NBA. There's like an NBA. It's like,
NBA Jam?
Yes, yeah.
Well, don't say Nintendo game. Say NBA Jam. I don't know what that is.
Well, that was on Nintendo.
I played it in the video game arcade. I played it on a machine, not on.
And it said on there Nintendo. It was a Nintendo arcade game too.
I think you made that up.
That's it's not to the conclusion of me never eating a candy bar or a bowl of cereal, but I haven't played very many video games either. I've never been bowling. No cereal, no candy bar.
Yeah, we're gonna
very rarely have I played video games.
By the way, Midway made NBA Jam, not Nintendo.
Owned by Nintendo. Anyways, so a little bit of profit this week. A little bit of profit this week. So that got us to minus 1225 for the year. So which is pretty good. 1225 for the year. I told you 39, 18, and 8. Some really nice hits. Here's where I'm at with this. You could go down our card. I'm not going to dive into everyone because here's why I did this. I'm upset.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset. So if you scroll down on the winners, the guy on the third, 1, 2, 3, Davis Thompson.
Is he on your list now too?
Okay, could you take the board off, please? And I'm going to go through this little soliloquy.
Okay.
If you look at 54 holes throughout the course of the year, we've probably had 7 winners. Unfortunately, we've had 1 for the year. That's why we are in the red. That's why it's 1225 minus 1225. Now, you want to talk about our luck? Davis Thompson breaks his driver, leading the golf tournament. Breaks his driver.
His wife probably broke it over his head before he left, and it just didn't crack.
It's not Tiger. We're not going through the Tiger scenario. No, we're not doing that. We are not doing this. Why? Because she cheated on him with you?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing? Is that how we're going about this?
Every week.
So you want to talk about the devil chasing you? This is it. I mean, I don't know. I'm watching this and I'm like, this dude's got a 2-shot lead. I'm loving it. Going into the last round, 2-shot lead, doing the right things, and he breaks his driver. And I text one of my boys here in KC. I said, you're joking here, right? I mean, please tell me you're joking. On Saturday, he breaks it. I said, please tell me this is a joke.
It's luck, Johnny.
What's luck?
It's just bad luck.
Bad luck's been all year, and bad luck will beat you home. Bad luck will beat you home. Is what it will do. And I don't even know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Only thing I know what to say is what is that? Aero Spaceship, Don't Stop Believing. Who sings that song? Aero Spaceship. Who is that? Who sings that?
Journey.
Oh yeah. Well, he was on a damn bad journey on Saturday, is what he was. He's on a bad journey, and I'm over it. And so what?
Aero Spaceship.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're talking about Aerosmith, Starship, or Jefferson Airplane. I don't know.
Yeah, all three of them. I think they had members from each that joined one, and they're just Aero Spaceship. I don't know what that shit is. I don't know anything about music. It's just not Aero Spaceship.
It's okay. That's why it's entertainment or video games.
Colby's probably cussing me out right now because I don't know anything about.
He doesn't.
I don't. Yeah, but anyways, just don't Aero Spaceship and Don't Stop Believing us. We're and if you look at our track record, when I'm covering the PGA Tour events and I'm on site, we do extremely well. So next few weeks, stay tuned because we are going to be rocking and rolling. We're going to we told you there's so many more opportunities left, so much more money to be made. Hang in there, follow the system. Our matchup records are obviously fantastic. 3-0 this week, 39, 18, and 8. Hang in there with us. I don't want to just dive into the Davis Thompson sagas on this. So I don't know what to say, bro. I don't. 70 players in the field. And you know what we probably do if you watch what we're doing here? Probably these next few weeks we won't have top 20 bets because you can't make any money because obviously the short field 70, 50, 30. Obviously the last one. So we'll have a little bit more matchup opportunities. So watch out for some more top 10s next week. Maybe we'll have 4 top 10s, outright winners, and a long shot, maybe the same when we get to the BMW in St. Louis. And certainly we're going to go free for all at the championship in Atlanta. But hang in there with us. We're gaining on it. Profitable week, and we're going to continue to go forward there.
So there you go, boys and girls. We're going to come back on
in studio Wednesday.
On Wednesday, in studio together, reunited, and it feels so good.
Who's that? Leonard Skinner?
Peaches and Herb.
Oh, I'm close.
Peaches and Herb. You weren't at all close. No,
I was close.
Think you were. Could have said Mars Attacks, and it probably would have been closer.
I don't know what's that.
It's a movie. We will be back on Wednesday together in studio on all of the Tuwaka and all of the Jägermeister and all of the Tomstown, helping us get
machine.
No, I haven't deciphered what's wrong with it yet, but I have all the Jaeger cold in the cooler. Still cold. The FedEx St. Jude Championship from Memphis, Tennessee. On Wednesday, we will talk about that. Justin Rose defending his win from last year. He's at number 24 in your FedEx Cup rankings. So he will be on hand to and in good position to do that for you. We'll go over all of that, go over Johnny's picks, give you a whole new group of Wheel of Misfortune comedy to give us some of that. And then we'll talk about it, eh? We'll talk all about it and give you guys some comedy along with some insight from Johnny about the FedEx St. Jude Championship and of course TPC Southwind. There, he knows all about it. That's going to do it for us, boys and girls. We'll be back on Wednesday. Until then, y'all keep hitting them straight.